All right, let's talk about the weather first with a check of the quiet conditions out there right now, but there are some changes you can already see. A live look into Ozark. Notice those high-level clouds already starting to stream in. That's in advance of our pretty impactful weather system. You can also see those high clouds looking towards the north here from downtown Fayetteville. Lots of sunshine out there. That's going to help us warm up. Take advantage of these warm temperatures because we're not going to feel this warm probably for the rest of the week. Brand new winter storm warning in effect for northwest Arkansas. That was upgraded from a winter storm watch. We've added a winter weather advisory for Sequoia, LaFleur, Crawford, Sebastian, and Franklin counties. Waiting on the Weather Service out of Little Rock to fill in the rest. We'll see if they pull the trigger on that. We'll be the first to let you know when they inevitably issue some type of winter weather advisory. Let's talk about the timeline. We'll pause this here tomorrow morning, 3 o'clock. Not a lot going on overnight. That precipitation starts to build in. This is 7 a.m. Notice it moving from the west towards the east. You can see that transition line pink or the salmon color here. That's going to be your sleet, rain, at times snow mix. The blues, that's going to be all snow. By 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, it looks like we're probably getting going in Benton County with a good clip of snow. Temperatures starting to come down. In northwest Arkansas, we're going to be in those mid to upper 20s, so expect road impacts immediately. In the River Valley, where we're hovering at or right below that freezing mark, it may take a little bit longer for those slick spots to develop, but probably not much longer. I think by noon tomorrow, we're looking at widespread precipitation around the area. Again, notice that transition line. It may take a little bit later into the afternoon for that snow sleet line to start pushing off towards the south, but by 3, 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, that's starting to take place. Looking at mostly snow in Benton, Carroll, eventually pushing into Washington and Madison County. Meanwhile, along and south of Interstate 40 through tomorrow evening, more sleet than probably anything else, but that transition does happen by tomorrow evening before things start to wind down, likely after midnight. So we're going into early Wednesday morning before things really wrap up. I'd say by 3 o'clock, a lot of us are going to be in pretty decent shape. So let's talk about those roads tomorrow. In northwest Arkansas, I think by like mid-morning, we're starting to see conditions start to deteriorate. Certainly by noon, I think we've got some issues out there. That's likely to continue all evening tomorrow. And I'll tell you, probably through Wednesday as well. In the River Valley, it's really not much different. A little bit later, but only by an hour or two before we start to see medium road impacts eventually transition into high road impacts. Here's what we're looking at in terms of totals right now. But I got to tell you, I'm looking at a little bit of data that's come in the last couple of hours. I'm waiting on a little bit more to come in this afternoon. When it comes in, at this point, I anticipate shifting some of these higher totals a little bit further towards the south. That's good news for a few reasons. Now you're thinking, Scott, I don't want snow at all. Why is that good news? Well, with this cold air seeping a little bit further south than previously thought, that is going to help mitigate some, not entirely, but some of that freezing rain potential. And that's where you get power outages. So this is a good trend for us, but it does inevitably result in some higher totals. For now, northern Benton County, Carroll County, how about 6 to 8 inches of snow? That's a lot, right? 3 to 6 across most of Washington into Madison County. In the River Valley, where things have been relatively tricky, 1 to 3 inches of a sleet snow mix. More of that's probably going to end up being sleet, but with some of these latest trends, we very well could be having to adjust these numbers up just a little bit as well and bring in that sleet number a little bit lower. A trace to about an inch is what I'm going to call for right now across LaFleur, southern Sebastian, southern Logan, into Scott County for a mostly sleet, but a snow mix at times with just a little bit of a light glaze, at most about 1/4 of an inch when it's all said and done. Right now, in terms of what's going to fall, I think mostly snow, northwest Arkansas, a rain sleet to eventually transitioning over to snow late tomorrow evening in the River Valley, a rain and sleet mix in portions of the Ouachitas. So that's going to be a very busy forecast for a lot of us. I will tell you, I do anticipate some of those changes later this afternoon, so be sure to check back here and on 5 Plus for the very latest accumulation amounts that you can expect. 46 the high today. Big story beyond the precipitation, beyond the snow and the freezing rain and the sleet. It's those temperatures. We're talking dangerously cold wind chill values. The actual air temperature, so the real temperature, what the thermometer is going to say, -2 on Thursday morning. That's probably going to be our coldest morning. But wind chill values, what it's going to feel like when that wind slaps you in the face, as low as -15 to -20 in northwest Arkansas. In the River Valley, I would expect an actual low temperature Thursday morning of 5. With wind chill values as low as 10 below zero. We will not be above freezing until Saturday. So Morgan, these road impacts are going to likely linger for several days. Look, our road crews are incredible. They do a really good job. in this case, Mother Nature not only isn't going to help those road crews, she's going to make it worse on them. So it's going to take a little bit for those roads to improve.
Yeah, even with the sun out.
Even with the sun.
Below freezing temperatures do not make it easy for them.
It's tough to overcome that. That salt and that brine that they put on the roads, it's effective, but only to a certain extent. We start talking about these temperatures that we're looking at, and it's just not effective.
Yeah.